Hello guys, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me guys?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, the last class what, yeah. So last class what we discussed, can anyone tell me what is SDLC? What is SDLC guys? What is SDLC? Can anyone?
Yeah,
SDLC.
SCSC is a software development life cycle.
Yes, correct. Can you tell me what are the phases in SDLC?
The phases are
Yes. Requirement capturing.
requirement capturing,
Yes.
analysis,
Yes.
coding,
Design. First.
design,
First. Yes.
implementation, support.
Yes, correct. So requirement capturing, analysis. After analysis, design part will come. Okay. So once the design is done, then the development team will involved. Once the development is done right, then QA will involve. Once QA is done right, then once the testing is done, then we'll go for implementation. Once implementation is done, then we'll go for what? Support and maintenance. Okay, good. So this is one of the most important one. Okay, SDLC. SDLC is nothing but what? Software development life cycle. Okay. What are the phases? Requirement capturing, analysis, designing. After analysis, we need to go for designing. Once the design is done, then what we need to do? We need to go for a coding. Once the coding part is done, then we will go for implementation. Once the implementation is done, then we will go for support and maintenance. Okay. So SDLC. What is BRS? Can anyone tell me what are the BRS document? BRS means?
Business Requirement Specification document.
Yes, correct. What is SRS document?
Software Requirement Specification.
Yes. What is FRS document?
Functional Requirement Specification document.
Yes, FRS, BRS, and SRS. Okay, we have the documents. Okay, in the real time, they will provide some documents. Okay, mainly we will work on what? FRS. FRS is nothing but what? Functional Requirement Specification document. Okay, so we'll see that also how with the FRS will be. Okay. Today is one of the important one. Testing techniques. Okay, see, generally we know what is testing. The testing is nothing but to check whether the application is working as per the given requirements or not, right? Now what we are learning, testing techniques. There are two types of testing. One is static, another is what? Dynamic. Okay, static means what? Everyone know, right? What is meaning of static? Static means in the testing terminology, what we can say that the testing techniques can be classified into two categories. One is what? A static testing, another is what? Dynamic testing. What is meaning of static testing? See, let's see what is meaning of static testing. The application is checking carried out without executing. Such kind of things we can call it as what? Static testing. See, we are not executing anything. Okay, such kind of things, what we can call it as what? Static testing. Let's see, can you give me any examples of static testing means? What you can give the examples? Review means what is meaning of review? You are writing some code, your senior person will review, right? That will comes on review part. Suppose you are writing the test cases, the senior person review our test cases, so that part we can call it as what? A review part. Here in the review part we are not executing anything, right? So that we can call it as what? Static testing. That we can call it as what? Static testing. Okay, because we are not executing anything, so that's the reason we can call it as a what? It's as a static. Okay. Inspection. What is called inspection? See, whether you are following the respective documents or not, whether you need to follow the correct documents, BRS, SRS, FRS, design document. There are a lot of documents will be there in the real time. So whether you are correctly follow the respective documents or not, who will check? Your lead will check. So here also I'm not executing anything. So that the reason we can call it as what? It's a static testing. Okay. So reviews, inspections, all will comes in where? In static testing. Okay. And what about walkthrough? See, in the real time, we have a lot of meetings will be there. In the meetings, like we need to explain the demos and all the things. Okay, here also we are not executing anything. Just we have some meetings. Okay, what is action plan? What we need to do? All this comes on where? In walkthrough sessions. In walkthrough sessions also we are not executing anything. So that's the reason we can call it as it's a static. So in interview, you can say that, can you explain what are the static testing things like a review, inspections, walkthrough, all will comes in with in static testing. Static means what? You can simply understand without executing the application, such kind of things, we can call it as what? Static testing. Okay. Simply you can say that it all will comes on what? Static testing. Okay. And yeah. So see, inspection, I told you, right? Inspection means what? Software artifacts like components, like such as requirement specification. You need to follow for correct requirement specification document. You need to follow the design documents. Okay. Suddenly you came and you say that I'm getting a wrong output. I follow the different document, means you will not get the correct output, right? So you need to follow some respective documents. Okay, that all will comes on in which area? Inspection. Inspection is done by your lead. Okay, your lead will check whether you are following the respective documents or not. Okay, so these all will comes on where? We can simply say that this all will comes on where? In static. And what about dynamic? So just now we know, right? What about dynamic? The dynamic testing, the dynamic means the application is checking done by executing. So what are we are executing, right? All will comes on where? In dynamic testing. So executing means what? White box testing. The developer will execute the code. Black box tester, we are giving the validation. We are validating, right? You are giving the inputs and you are getting the output, means you are also executing the things, right? So white box testing and black box testing, and one more box will be there. Interview question. What is gray box testing? What is gray box testing, guys? So the gray box testing is nothing but the combination of what? White and black. So sometimes we require the developer help. Okay, sometimes what is required? Sometimes we require the development help. So we need to both, means we are not write the code, but we are taking help from where? The developer. So sometimes the developer need help from the testing team. Okay, whether it is working correctly or not. So we both will do, means that kind of testing we can call it as what? Gray box testing. So dynamic testing means simply you need to remember with execution. So with execution. So testings are two types. One is static, another is what? Dynamic. Static testing, we are not executing anything. Dynamic testing means with execution. So can you give me any examples of static testing? Yes, code review, inspections, walkthrough, all will comes on where? In static testing. Verification part, this we can call it as what? Verification part. So dynamic testing, the dynamic testing we can call it as what? Validation part. So I told you, right, as a tester we need to do the both things, like verification part and validation part. So that's the reason in interview definitely they will ask you, can you define static testing and dynamic testing? Static testing means without executing the application, we can call it as what? Static testing. What about dynamic testing? Means the dynamic testing means with execution of the application. So black box, white box, and we can call it as what? One more box is what? Gray box. The gray box is nothing but what? The combination of what? White and black. Okay. So in interview, in case they ask you, can you tell me what are the static testing and what are the dynamic testing, means don't confuse. It's very easy. Static testing is nothing but without executing the application is called the static testing. Dynamic testing means what? With execution. Okay, can you give me any examples? Yes, we can give the examples. What are the examples of static? You can say that code review, inspections and walkthrough, all all will comes on where? In static testing. And what about dynamic testing? The dynamic testing means with execution of the application. With execution means what? White box testing, black box testing, and what we can say that gray box testing. So the gray box testing is nothing but what? The combination of white and black. Okay. Anybody have any questions here? Is it clear? So static and dynamic. Is it clear, guys?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, good.
Yes.
So yeah, testing fundamentals. See, this is one of the most important one. What is the testing fundamentals? We know so far what is testing. We know what are the testing types. Okay, white box and
Sir,
black box. Yeah,
sir, sorry for the
ah,
interruption.
no problem. You can go ahead.
Sir, actually, when do we do the static testing?
So, see, when we will do the static testing, it's a good question. See, whenever they assign any task, right, first of all, you will do testing or you will go with the requirements. First of all, you need to go with the requirements, right? First, you need to check whether the requirements is correct or not. First of all, you need to understand, right, whether you are going with the correct requirements or not. So in that case, you can go with the first, you need to check the requirement specification documents. You need to check all the things, so, right? So in that case, what we can call it as it's a static testing. But in the real time, no one will say do the static testing, do the dynamic testing. This is for our understanding, for our knowledge. We are understanding like what is static and what is dynamic. But in the real time, whenever any task is assigned on your name, right, what you will do first? You will not immediately start testing, right? First of all, you need to check the documents. What are the requirement specifications? Okay, so you are not executing anything there. You just review the things. So that all will comes on called as a static testing. Okay, is it clear now?
Yeah, okay, sir, got it. Got it.
Okay, good. Good. So testing fundamentals, guys, these all are very, very important. What are the testing fundamentals? Unit testing and integration testing and system testing and acceptance testing. And mainly we need to learn functional testing and non-functional testing. So these all are very, very important. Okay. So what is unit testing? What is integration testing? What is system testing? What is acceptance testing? See, we'll see now all these things. Okay, so far what we learned, what is testing types, white box and black box, structural and functional. After that, what we learn, what is SDLC, software development life cycle, what are the phases, requirement capturing, analysis, designing, coding, testing, implementation, and support and maintenance. After that, what we learn, the testing techniques, static and dynamic. See how much stuff you have now. Now what we are learning, we are learning the testing fundamentals. What are the basic fundamentals of our testing? You need to know what is unit testing, you need to know what is integration testing, and what is system testing, and what is acceptance testing. Okay, let's see all these things. Okay, what is unit testing? Everyone know, right? What is unit testing? So testing a single program or a module or a unit of the code. So these kind of testing, we can call it as what? Unit testing. So unit testing is generally done by whom? Your developer. Okay, module testing. So sometimes, so they ask you to test particular module. Okay, so module means, you know, right? What is the module in Amazon? Can anyone tell me what are the modules in Amazon? What are the modules? So
Like
best,
payment module.
yeah, payment module. See, the best seller is the one module. Mobiles is one module. Customer services is one module. Today deals is what? One module. So if any application, you can go, any application will see that modules. Okay, first of all, you need to work on a particular module. Okay, they will tell you in what module we need to work. So don't worry. See here, the stock item is one module, suppliers is one module, purchases is one module, customers is one module, sales is one module. Now, what is unit testing? A group of code or a module or lines of the code, right? So that we can call it as what? Unit testing. Okay, a testing of a single program or a module or unit of the code. So in case they ask you to test the module testing, suppose they ask you to test this module, you need to work on that module. Okay, But generally I told you, right, the unit testing is done by the developers. Okay, before they will send the code to the QA, they will check whether the code is working properly or not. Okay, so that kind of testing we can call it as what? Unit testing. So unit testing, everyone know, right? Unit testing is done by the developers. In case they ask you to test any module, you need to test. For see, the unit is ready for the testing with other system component. So my code is correct, my code is working fine, it is ready to work with the other component. Okay, now one of the most important one, integration testing. So this one interview they will ask you, definitely they will ask you, what is integration? The name itself we have, right? Integration means what is meaning of integration? Integration means what? We are combining the modules. Okay, we are combining the modules. Okay, you are combining the code, we are combining the two components, right? We are combining the two components of code. Okay, so that we can call it as what? Integration testing. So mainly in integration testing, what we will do, we need to check whether these two modules or whether these two units are communicating properly or not. We need to check. So that's we'll see the practically how it works. See, in the real time, I told you, right, yesterday I told you, right, there is a developer will be there. This is one developer, this is what another developer. I told you, right, what developer job? The developer job is what? Always they will go with the requirements. Based on the requirements, they need to write the code. Right now, this guy is written some code. Okay, and this guy is also written some code. Okay, now this guy is implemented home page. Okay, this guy is implemented today deals, whatever it may be. Okay, now we need to, as a QA, what is your role? You know, right, what is your role? What is your role? You need to test these two things. Okay, home page and today deals. Now how you will test this one? How you will test? So yesterday we discussed, right? Now first of all, whenever they return the code, right, so what the same process I told you, right? Once the developer return the code, what they will do? Code review. Code review is done by senior person. Okay, once code review is done, what kind of testing will they will do? Unit level testing. This is working correctly or not, they will check. Okay, okay, the same way this guy is also do the same thing. Okay, code review. Okay, once the code is completed, they will send to the code review. Once code review is done, this guy is also do the unit level testing. Okay, white box testing, because the developer is always do what kind of testing? White box testing. Now this guy is pushed to the code into the server, and this guy is also pushed to the code into the server. Right now, these two code, this is what code, this is what code, two different code, they're into merged, and they will convert in the form of what? Build. This is what a build. Build is very very important. Okay, okay, build. So in this build, the two code will be there. This build will assign to whom? To the QA. Now QA guy will not see the code, right? You will got URL. URL will we will get what URL. Okay, that's what abc.com. This, let us see, this is what your domain name. Whenever the QA guy is open this URL, what he can see? He can see that what home page, and along with what? Along with what? Today deals page should be displayed. Okay, today deals page should be displayed. Understanding, right? So this is what generally it will happen in the real time. Now what is our job? So as a QA, you need to check these two different units, right? This is what a different code, this is what different code. Now as a QA, what you need to test, you need to check the communication between the two modules or not. Okay, the data flow between the two modules are working properly or not, you need to check. Suppose if you click home page, what should be happen? Home page should be displayed. In home page, you can see the today deals, right? If you click the today deals page should be open. In today deals page, you can able to see home page, right? If you click the home page, means home page should work. Means the both are integrating properly. So that we need to check in integration testing. You need to check combining the two modules. See, now I'm combining the two modules. What are there? Mobiles and today deals. If I click the mobiles, what page I'm getting? Mobile page I'm getting. Currently I'm in which page? I'm in mobiles page. Now I want to interact with what the today deals page. See, I'm clicking the today deals page. The today deals page is working, right? Because they have both has the proper communication. Now I'm currently in which page? I'm currently in which page? Today deals. But I want to communicate with what? Mobiles page. If I click that one, the page is opening. So how it is working? They have a proper communication, right? They have a proper communication, right? So while you are doing the testing, the integration testing is also is very important. Whenever any new module is added into your application, whenever any module is added into your application, you need to check whether the module is communicating, whether the module is communicating with other modules or not. We need to check. Suppose if I'm today deals, currently I'm in which page? I'm in today deals, but home page, I'm clicking the mobiles, but this page is not opening. You are getting what? Server is not found. You are getting 505. You are getting some errors. Means what? This there is something wrong. There is something wrong in this page. Means there is not communicating properly. So integration testing. So integration testing is also one of the most important testing. Integration testing is the process combining the modules. Just now I told you, right? The today deals and the home page. The combining the modules and the testing the data flow between the modules. Integration testing verifies that combined unit functions together properly or not. The two unit functions. What are the two unit functions? Home is one unit function. Today deals is one unit function. Now what kind of testing I can do? Now I'm doing what? Integration testing. What is meaning of integration testing? The combining the two modules and check the data flow between the modules, and also you need to check whether these two modules are able to access or not. We need to check. Okay, so that we can call it as what we can call it as what? Integration testing.
Integration
So
testing.
yeah, integration testing is very important. See, the developer will do the integration testing, and as well as QA is also will do the integration testing. Not only modules. Okay, in case they ask you to test the two modules are integrating or the two modules are communicating, you need to check. Okay, see guys, whenever any new thing is added in your application, what you will do? It should communicate with other modules. It should communicate with other modules. Suppose it is not communicating with other modules, means something went wrong. So you can guess that and you can report it to the developer. Okay, so anything is added in your application, it should communicate, right? So that's the reason integration testing is very important. Okay, it will do the both. The developer will do from their end. See, developer here they will do integration testing because they need to check whether the code is matched properly or not, whether the two codes are integrated properly or not. They will check from their end. But as a QA end, you are also need to check whether these two modules are communicating properly or not. You need to check. That is what we discussed, right? I told you, right, the basic thing of QA, what developer will do, what tester will do. If you observe this one, we already discussed, the developer will start writing the coding with the designs like architectural, DB, UI. Based on the design, the developer will start writing the coding. Once the coding part is done, the developer will go with the code review. Once the code review is done, the developer will go with unit level testing. What is called unit level testing? White box testing. Once the white box testing is done, then the developer will start working on integration. So here the developer part is completed. So developer is also do a integration testing and QA is also do the integration testing. So again, one more developer is there. He will implement one more code. Okay, let us assume he will implement one more code. So the same thing. Now this code will check in into the server. This build is already gone, right? We will not get the same build. Okay, this two already matched, right? This two code will be matched here one more time. Okay. Now the three code, okay, this two code and this last code. Okay, now another build will come. Now you will get a fresh build. Here this guy implemented images. Let us assume this guy is implemented images. Okay, now what you will get, now again you will get the build, right? In this build, what you need to test, simple guys, what we need to test, you will get URL. Now you need to check whether you are getting home page or not. You need to check home page you are getting or not, and also you need to check today deals is getting or not. Okay, okay, and also you need to check images you are getting or not, you need to check, understanding, right? So these all are very very important images. So like this only they implemented entire the application. Don't think that only one day they implemented entire the application. Now, as a tester, you need to check all these combinations. Like you click the home page should work. If you click today deals, it should work. If you click images, it should be work. From images, I want to click the home page, it should work. From home page, I want to click the today deals, it should work. So the proper communication. So the data flow between all the modules or not, we need to check. So this kind of testing we can call it as what? Integration testing. So you can tell in interview, in integration testing is nothing but the combining the modules and the testing the data flow between the modules. Integration testing, for what we are doing, for what purpose we are doing the integration testing? The integration testing verifies that combined unit functions together properly or not. This can facilitate finding the problem that occur at interface or a communication interface, look and feel, between the individual components. So that's the reason integration testing is one of the most important one. But in the real time, no one will tell you do the integration testing. You need to understand, you need to check whether the modules are communicating properly or not. You need to check from your end, understanding, right? No one will tell you specifically test the integration testing. Okay, you need to check as a tester, that is your job, you need to check. Okay, are you getting right what I'm trying to say? So this is what one of the most important one, integration testing. Okay, so this also we can call it as what, assembly testing. So assembled, all we need to assemble and we need to check whether it is assembled properly or not, we need to check. Okay, again, integration testing are into two types: incremental integration testing and non-incremental integration testing. Not required, but we'll see. So incremental integration testing. So what is called incrementally means what? We are not adding all the modules at a time. We are adding what? Module one by one. So incrementally means, the meaning is what? Incrementally means we are adding module by module. Okay, that kind of things we can call it as what? Incrementally integration testing. So incremental integration testing is the process of testing in which each unit is integrated one at a time into the system. So suppose you are taking as a incremental integration testing means, so what we need to do, we are adding one unit, okay, one module. Okay, again we are adding one module. What you need to do? We need to test two modules. Now again I'm adding one more module. So what you need to do? You need to test only two, or we need to test all three? Can anyone answer? We need to test all three, or we need to add only two and three? Like we need to test only two and three, or we need to test all three? When I'm adding a new module, we need to test all three or only two and all three, right?
All three, sir.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
three.
all three. Yes, all three. So when I'm added on again one more module, again we need to test all four, because you need to check this module is communicating with other modules or not. So in incremental integration testing is the process of testing in which each unit is integrated one at a time into the system. They added one module, we need to test. So this is what lengthy process, and it is also time taken. Okay, but we need to test the data flow. For what reason we are doing this integration? I told you, right? The data flow between the modules is tested as soon as new module is integrated. Again, as soon as new module is integrated, as soon as new module is integrated. So we need to test like this. Like this, we can call it as what? Incremental integration testing. Means I'm not adding all the modules at a time. I'm adding what? One by one, one by one. So this we can call it as what? Incremental integration testing. So again, once you added, we need to check the data flow between the modules are working properly or not. We need to check. This process consists of systematically combining the unit tested modules, okay, unit test modules on one by one, and testing the combining the modules. When you added any module, you need to check the data flow between the two modules, and the two modules are communicating properly or not. You need to check. Okay. Again, one more interview question: what is top down testing and what is bottom of the testing? So what is top down testing? Anyone know, right? Everyone know, right? What is the top down testing and what is the bottom of the testing? So top down testing means what? There is a parent link will be there. Suppose this is the what? Parent link. Okay, parent link, you know, right? Link means if you click this link, it will navigate to the other areas. Okay, so this is the parent link. Now you are adding what? Child links. Okay, so whenever you are adding the parent to child, this kind of testing we can call it as what? Top down testing. So top down testing means what? There is a parent link will be there. In this parent link, we are adding what? Child link. The child link should work under the parent link. So this kind of testing we can call it as what? Top-down testing. So top-down testing is a process of incrementally. Again, incremental means what? We are adding one by one and adding the modules from parent to child. There is a parent link will be there, and we are adding to what? To the child. Okay, and the data flow between the modules. Again, we need to check. See, integration means what? We need to check the communication and data flow between the modules only. We need to check. Okay. In top-down testing means you only need to remember from the parent to child. From the parent to child, there is a parent link will be there. We are adding to the child links, and in that, what we need to check the data flow between the modules are communicating properly or not. We need to check this process of work downwards through the software hierarchy, top to bottom. So it's for interface testing. We use what? Top-down testing, but in the real time, no one will tell you do the top-down testing to the bottom of the testing. No one will tell you. This is what for our understanding. This is for our knowledge. So what is top-down testing and bottom of the testing? The top-down testing means what? If you have and you need to check with the child links. Okay, the parent link and child links having a proper communication or not, you need to check. Okay, so this kind of testing we can call it as what? Top down testing. And what about bottom of the testing? Vice versa. Vice versa means reverse. Reverse means what? Child to parent. Okay, there is already child links will be there. Okay, there is already child links will be there. Now you are adding what? Parent link. Okay, from the top to bottom up means bottom of the testing is a process is incrementally adding the modules from where? Child to parent. Already child links we have. Okay, already we added all the child links. Okay, what you can say that this is added lastly. Okay, now there is added before child links. Okay, now they added what? Parent link. Okay, they added what? Now they added what? Parent link. So this is what we can say that top to bottom. Okay, this we can say that bottom to top. Yes. Yes. So this is one of the most important, guys. See, they will tell you, but no one will ask you to do the parent testing and parent to child, child to parent. No, no one will tell like that. Okay, but you need to understand what is top down testing and what is bottom of the testing. So bottom of the testing is a process of incrementally adding the modules from the child to parent, from the child to parent. And here also what we need to check, the test the data flow between the modules. This is also we need to check module functionality, whether it is working correctly or not. We need to check in the real time examples. We can see, you can see any there are sub modules will be there. So here the stock category is there, right? Suppose this is the parent, this is the child. So under the parent, the child links should work, right? Under this is what parent link. Okay, if I click the stock item, what page should come? Stock item. If I click the stock category, so if you click the stock category, what page I getting? Stock category page. See, I'm getting what? Stock category page. So if I click the unit of measurements, what page I'm getting? Unit of measurements I'm getting. So there is they have some proper configuration will be there, proper communication will be there, proper communication will be there. If the communication is not there, means we cannot test that one. Understanding, right? So these all are what very important. Not only you cannot do blindly testing, you need to observe that what kind of testing is required at the time. Suppose you want to do a positive testing, you need to do the positive testing. If you want to do the negative testing, you need to do the negative testing. And also you need to check whether it is integrated properly or not. You need to check that. We can call it as what? Integration testing. So this all we need to test. Okay. So integration testing is also one of the most important one. Okay. While you are doing the testing, you need to observe that they have the proper communication or not. You need to check. Okay. And one of the most important one, non-incremental integration testing. See, now so far what we learned: integration testing, incremental integration testing, top-down testing, and bottom-up the testing. But now, what is non-incremental integration testing? So the name itself we have, right? Non-incremental integration testing means what? All modules are added at a time, because it will take a lot of time, right? Previously we discussed, if you're adding the module by module, it was taking a lot of time, right? So every time we need to add with the previous. See, incremental integration means adding a module, checking, adding the module, checking, adding the module, we are checking. So it was taking a lot of time. But non-incremental integration testing means what? Simply what we can do, we are taking 3 to 4 modules at a time. We are taking 3 to 4 modules at a time. We are adding all the modules at a time. See, this is what, this is one module, this is one module, and this is one module, this is one module. Now what I'm doing here, now I'm adding all the modules. See, that is what he's saying. Non-incremental integration testing is a process of testing the product by integration every unit all at a time into the system, and the testing data flow between the modules. So now I'm adding what? All the modules at a time. Okay. Here also we need to check the previous modules, but previously what happened, they added one module, means again we need to test all the things. But here, one at a time, we will check all the modules are working properly or not, right? So this kind of testing, we can call it as what? A non-incremental integration testing. See, why we are doing this one? This method can be used to save the time and integration process. We can save the time. So this is also, we can call it as what? A big bang method. So they will tell you guys, I told you, right? Your test lead, your test lead have some test plan, what kind of testing is required, whether we need to go with the incremental testing, whether we need to go for a non-incremental testing, whether we need to go with the top-down testing, whether we need to go with the bottom of the testing. Everything is defined. But you need to understand the terminologies. What is integration testing? What is unit testing? What is system testing? You need to understand what exactly it is. If you know that, then what is your lead suggestion you write, you can continue with that. Okay. So in real time also, we will do the integration testing. What is meaning of integration testing? The integration testing is nothing but the combining the modules and check the data flow between the two modules are communicating or interacting properly or not. We need to check. Such kind of testing, we can call it as what? Integration testing. Integration is incremental and non-incremental. Incremental means what? One by one module we are adding, we are checking the data flow between the two modules are communicating properly or not. Non-incremental means all modules are added at a time. And bottom of the testing and top down testing and bottom of the testing. The top down testing is nothing but we have the parent link will be there. Under the parent link, we are adding what? Child links. So that testing, we can call it as what? Top down testing. And bottom of the testing means we already have the child link. and we are adding to the parent links. So that we can call it as what? Bottom of the testing. Okay, so this is called uh, integration testing. Okay, and one more important is it clear, guys? We will go to the next topic. One more important is what? System testing. Don't miss this session, guys. System testing is very, 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 very important. Now it's 9:15. If we cannot complete with that, so we'll see tomorrow that part. So tomorrow we'll see what is system testing. So you know, right? What is unit testing? We know that. We know what is integration testing. We know. We know what is the testing technique, static and dynamic. You know. Tomorrow, what we need to do? We need to learn system testing. One of the most important one. We'll see tomorrow what is system testing. Okay. Anybody have any questions? Is it clear, or anybody have any questions, guys? Anybody have any questions? Are you able to understand? So in the real time, we'll do all the things. Okay, integration testing we involve, system testing also we involve. System testing is very, very important. That we will see tomorrow. It will take almost 1 hour class. Okay, so system testing we'll see from tomorrow. Okay, acceptance testing. Once it is done, then we will go important all your interview question. What are the functional testing and what are the non-functional testing? What is smoke? What is sanity? What is haddock? What is exploratory? What is retesting? What is regression testing? So all this comes on where? In functional testing. You'll see that coming sessions. Anything else, guys? Anybody have any questions? Is it clear?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay, good, excellent. We'll see then tomorrow the system testing, guys. Okay, thank you. Thank you for your time. Have a nice day. Thank you, guys.